let's just take a quick look at Carlos Correa. They're projecting 8 years, $240 million. I definitely think Correa, if he doesn't end up getting a 10-year deal, could there be, maybe like an 8-year deal, and then maybe, you have some option years at the back end of it, something like that. Maybe, a couple of club options for the last 2 years or something like that. Or maybe some kind of a vesting option. Probably a couple of parts of that contract where he can opt out. I could definitely see something like that. And incentives as well, because he's had the back problems according to reports. With Carlos Correa, you are going to be getting one of the better all-around players in the game. He's shown to be healthy in the last couple of years. Last year, over 148 games, hit 279, 26 homers, a 366 on base. A 485 slugging, a 134 WRC plus. He played great defense. To me, Carlos Correa, you're improving your team. Yeah, there was the whole trash can thing, so teams are a little weary about that. And that was another thing with the Yankees. Do you want to be adding someone like Carlos Correa where, hey, these the Yankee players that are on that team that were still, that were with the team in 2017, where could he end up? I think Carlos Correa, there's some options out there. One option could maybe you have possibly Bo Bichette move. Maybe you could have him move to a different position and you can bring in Carlos Correa to play shortstop. If we take a look at the Blue Jays as of right now, you just had Semien leave. Maybe you feel like Carlos Correa, you could bring him in to replace him. I would not discount the Blue Jays here. I think maybe they're waiting in the back, kind of waiting to see what kind of happens. I mean, this is a Blue Jays team. They got talent on this team. And if you add someone like Carlos Correa, move Bo Bichette maybe to second base, maybe even move him over to third, something like that. I think they could definitely add Carlos Correa. At least on paper, I think it works. So I'm not going to count out the Toronto Blue Jays as a possible team. And, honestly, another thing with the Toronto Blue Jays as well, they got payroll. They got room. If they really wanted to, and if they added Carlos Correa $30 million per season, they're still going to have plenty of budget room to add even more guys. You've already added Kevin Gausman, and you're still only at $161 million. So Carlos Correa, of $30 million per year, that puts you right at around $191. You still got around $20 million to spend. So I'm telling you, I wouldn't count out the Toronto Blue Jays. That's just my opinion for a team that could be a dark horse for Carlos Correa. There's some other teams out there. I don't think the Red Sox are going to end up getting Carlos Correa. I don't see it. I just don't. I think they're more willing to go like a shorter term deal or a cheaper option to address second base. I think there's definitely, I still think the Mariners are a possibility. I know you got JP Crawford there. I'm not gonna count them out just yet. Again, the Angels, I still think they're a team to look out for. But there is one team here where I'm wondering. The Phillies. I wonder if the Phillies, the more I think about it, I wonder if they jump in. Didi Gregorius had a bad season last year. You got Bryson Stott as well. Me personally, I would like to see what Bryson Stott can do. I always love when you have a top prospect in your system. The Phillies I find intriguing, but you have to wonder, the Mets are making all these moves. The Phillies are a win now team. They're in a position to go win. They have a squad. They have a team. I wonder, the Phillies, they could definitely use another bat in that lineup, I think. And if you have a bat to go alongside Bryce Harper in that lineup, someone like Carlos Correa, I think that could be huge. To me personally, I think for the Phillies, I think Kyle Schwarber's the best option for them. I think they need a left-handed bat. If I were the Phillies, would I go after Carlos Correa? Probably not, because you have Bryson Stott, and you could go after a short-term option if you wanted to go that route. But hey, it's Dave Dombrowski. Hey, he's gotten the big contracts done before. I feel like the Cubs, I don't know. So you got Nico Hoerner. The word is that, Nico Hoerner, he can go play other positions. He's versatile. So Carlos Correa could slide right into shortstop. I think with the Cubs, you know, according to Ken Rosenthal today, he was saying today he's wondering if the Cubs are if they're gonna go that long-term route for Carlos Correa, if they're gonna pony up those years. I don't think the Cubs. I think with the Cubs, yes, they added someone like Marcus Stroman, but I don't think they're gonna go crazy. I think if they could add Correa to where it makes sense to them, they'll do it. But they don't need to be so aggressive. You just sold off everyone. You just traded away everyone at the trade deadline. I don't think you need to go completely crazy. I think if they could get someone like Carlos Correa on the terms that they're comfortable with, they'll do it. But are they comfortable with going, 10 years? I don't know if the Cubs want to do that. Ken Rosenthal was saying today, I forget where he was talking today, but the Cubs, he was saying they're more inclined to go for shorter years, shorter year contracts. So we'll have to wait and see what the Cubs end up doing. But I definitely think there's going to be a team with Carlos Correa. I think we're going to end up seeing a surprise team. And I'm going to even count this team as a surprise team. The Houston Astros. I think the Houston Astros would be a surprise. I definitely wonder if maybe they just end up ponying up, an extra couple of years on that contract. Maybe they're just playing hardball and they're just waiting until they're going to let Correa. I think they're okay with Correa leaving, but I think if they could end up getting Correa back 7-8 years, they'll probably do it. But what do I know? I think the Houston Astros, to me, I think they would be a surprise team because you're hearing all of these things right now with all these other teams like the Cubs, the Dodgers, the Yankees. And the Yankees, that's another one too. That's another one too right now with the Yankees. Could you go add Carlos Correa? The Yankees, I think, are a team that makes sense for Correa. The question is with the Yankees, this is what I think it comes down to with the Yankees. Do they want to give the money to Carlos Correa or do they want to give the money to Aaron Judge? Now, I think Aaron Judge, this is going to be a big year for him personally. He's going to get himself a contract next year. But I think this is a big year for Aaron Judge in terms of health. I think he needs to show that he's healthy. I think he needs to show that he is durable. He's had plenty of injury problems in the past. He had a full season last year, didn't really seem to have a lot of issues. But I think this is a big season for him. I think if he ends up missing a lot of time this year, I don't think the Yankees will bring him back. I think they'll move on. And so that comes into question here. Could you go after someone like Carlos Correa? Aaron Judge, I'm wondering, hey, if he doesn't stay healthy this year, I don't know if the Yankees are going to want to keep going with him, So that could be something. Carlos Correa, I know you got Anthony Volpe, I know you got Oswald Peraza, but at the end of the day, prospects are fun, but you don't know how they're going to be. The Yankees seem to be very confident in Volpe and Peraza. So the word on the street is the Yankees are more willing to go with a stopgap shortstop for right now, kind of just to pave the way for those guys. But to me, I know you got a couple of big contracts on here, but you do have some guys coming off the books. You have Chapman coming off the books. I would think they're going to move on from him. That's just my thinking. You got Britton coming off the books as well. Aaron Judge, if he ends up becoming a free agent, he would essentially come off the books too. Gary Sanchez, you got, and Joey Gallo, they got a lot of money coming off the books. Carlos Correa could make sense for them. To me, it depends on where do the Yankees want to give that money. Would they rather give it to Correa or would they rather give it to Judge? Would they give it to both? Probably not. I don't know about that because that's just a lot at that point. You'd have three guys. I don't know if Judge is going to get, I would probably think Judge gets $30 million per season or it gets close to it. But with Correa, do you want to be giving Cole 36, Correa 30, and then Judge 30 or at least close to 30? That's a lot of money tied up to three guys.